So hello guys, my name is Shubham Gupta. I am a chess player and today I'm going to start this YouTube channel named Shubham Gupta because I can't think of anything. It happens. So we're going to look at a chess game today which is me versus Pushpendra sir. If you don't know Pushpendra sir, he's my coach. He's a very good chess player. He's above 1800 international FIDE rating. He's a just pretty good player. But in this game, I actually put up a good fight and I don't want to spoil you, so let's get into it. So first I started with c4. This is generally, to get your opponent out of prep. He played knight f6, I played knight c3, e6. And now I have prepped for e4 because e4 I can just play this. I can play e5 and bully this knight away. He played this, which is an inaccuracy. It is not a very good move because I can do it anyways. I can do e5 and attack this knight to you know, this knight is not comfortable. He took and I take the bishop because if I didn't take the bishop, if I take this, then he can take with the bishop. And I'm simply a pawn down. So I took this. Now the knight can come forward, but he preferred to go back because in forward it can get trapped by my queen, it can get all bullet. So I played d4 now. I get a pretty good center. My four pawns are controlling the central squares, which is good. So that is the reason why he played f6 to just dismantle my structure. I was like, okay, you can try. I'm just gonna protect it. I'm gonna be solid. He said, not today, buddy. I'm just gonna take you. I was like, okay, you win. So I just took. E takes d6 was played. He played c takes d6. His idea was e4, e5 to strike the d4 pawn. So I was like, okay, you're gonna play e5. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do absolutely nothing. I'm just gonna develop my pieces. Bishop d3, just developing. He played. Then he played e5, and I was like, okay, let me just castle. Now if you take this, then there will be rook e1 check, and defending it's hard because you have to go here. This diagonal is open. The king exposed, so he doesn't want to take this, or his position will be much worse. In like knight c6, he's developing now. Oopsie. So now I could have played this move, but I was not sure it is the right time to play this move because in some positions I can just take this and I can be better. So then afterwards, after knight c6, I played bishop a3. This is a pretty good diagonal. Or it will always pressure this one. Now after bishop e3, he played knight e7, which is a commendable move. Like it's like you go here, then back, then here. So it is very much time wasting. But what choice do we have? Knight e7, I played queen c2 so that I can my queen and my bishop can create a battery and can target this point at some point. He played bishop g4. Now I could have taken it, but I didn't like that. After takes, rook takes, this will be open. The bishop will be here. Knight can maybe jump. The queen can come, and there will be attack with my king. This poor king will face a lot of miserability. So after bishop g4, I played d5. I was like, okay, you know what? If you're gonna take, I'm also gonna do this. I thought that okay, your king is not castled. I can push maybe and try to play c5 in the future. He played knight f5, which was kind of surprising. I thought like he can go back and try to maneuver it this way, but he played knight f5, which is also really good. Knight f5. I played knight d2 because I didn't want him to take and like I didn't want this structure. This structure looks terrible. So I just played knight d2. After knight d2, he played queen d7. I could have always taken this, but I didn't like to do that. I just played knight e4. That was the reason I played knight d2 to go here and attack this pawn along with this beautiful bishop. Then he played knight c8, protecting this from my bishop and my knight. And then afterwards, Afterwards, knight c8, I played c5. I mean, it's a move which you play when you are too sure you're winning. It's an hard to play move, but the point is that after takes which happened in the game, um, after takes which happened, I have c4 and I have protected this pawn, and this pawn is just too strong. It is a passed pawn and it can just go towards its goal. Now this pawn is hanging, so he played b6 in order to protect it. And then I was like, what is this bishop doing here? Just get out of here. So I played this and he went back. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna bully you because you went there. So I played this. And after this, he could have like went here, but he didn't like the bishop. He preferred the knight more because my knight is also covering this square, which is covered by the bishop. So he tempts me to take, and I got tempted and just took. So now these pawns are ugly, but at least the bad bishop is bad. But I prefer these pawns as ugliness. After the ugly pawns, I played bishop f5 in order to attack the queen. After bishop f5, the queen come to d6. Now I could have also taken that, but I don't know, it slipped out of my mind or what happened. I just play rook c1. Rook c1 has a point that, okay, if I want to move my queen, this pawn will be always be hanging. So this pawn will be always be hanging. So now my rook also breaks it. Yippee. So after this, he went back queen e7. Maybe he was too scared to give away this pawn. And maybe he's trying to make room for his knight to come here and attack this weakness to these. And now, but he missed something that I can play. I can play just f4. Just and like if he takes, then this, the king is here, so the queen can't move. And after takes, I'm just up. So after this, after this he played knight d6 as he planned to play, and then I played a very interesting move. I want you to find it. What I played. It has a very deep meaning inside. I played queen a4. Now queen a4 has a tactical awareness and also a strategical awareness. First of all, it's a check. King d8 he played. King d8 was kind of a mistake. He could have gone here maybe. I mean here also it's not good because takes will go to one of king d8. And then I played a brilliant move which I am proud of. Played bishop takes c5. Bishop takes c5. The point is if you take, I take, and this pin is also annoying. And if you don't just take, then I think I have takes, and I can just go like rook here, maybe takes, and things are looking good for me. Then after I did my job, the brilliant job, he just took. I was like, okay, now I'm a pawn up. And after that, he played this. Now I was like, okay, these pawns are ugly. I'm a pawn up. I mean, this pawn is too strong. Let's just go in an endgame and just grind it out. So I traded the queens, which I wanted to do it. And then afterwards, the queen got traded. I took this pawn because I was like, okay, this might be a strong pawn. And the knight was attacking, and I played this. Now there's a move I missed in this sequence, which is e4. This is a good move which I completely missed. I have to play this. I'm attacking this. Now he played rook b1. I was like, okay, he might come in, so let's stop it. I can always take it. He takes, and then he played a weird move. I mean, not a weird move, h4, and I played rook b3 in order to stop this and this. And then he played a weird move, rook f8. Now rook f8 doesn't have any logic, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna attack. I'm gonna go with my plan. And then he played rook b8. I think this was a fumble here because if you want to go rook b8, you go anywhere rook b8. I mean, when I moved, so you could have improved your king. Then after rook b8, here I didn't saw any problem and just took. Now rook b1 check came in. move my king and rook b2. Rook b2 king. Rook b2, it's attacking this pawn, and also there's a hidden threat which we will show later in the game. Uh, after this, rook b1 king f2 rook b2. I didn't see any problem at first, so I just took this with a check, and he played king b6, and then he played king b6. After rook takes h7, king b6. I played g4. I was like, okay, these pawns are just there to roll, let them roll. But then he just played a move which I didn't saw very well. He played knight takes c4. Now see, the bishop can't take because the king is there. The lonely king can't fight alone. g4 knight takes c4. I take rook b6 check, which is unnecessary, I guess, but it does the job. He played king b7, and then I just push the pawn. He played knight e5. Now he had a threat of this because the bishop is again pinned. So I had to play this. Now if there, then this takes this. So knight e5, king e3. Then he played c4. Now it's a little bit scary. Not if you calculate well. g6. Rook b1 was played in order to stop by going this way. And now after he played rook b1, I was like, okay, let's calculate. And I calculated and saw that okay, this pawn is just free. I took it because now c3, which was very threatened move, I just played g7. I was like, okay, I'm also queening. You queen, I queen, and I'm queening even first. And it's even a mate after rook moves. Then after g7, he played rook g1, stopping the pawn. And then I was like, okay, this knight is hanging, let's just take it. Because I have calculated the most scared move which can make you scared is rook takes g7. And then I played after rook takes g7, I played bishop d3, which is the only move in the position because you have to stop c2, or else it's gonna just go bishop d3. Played rook g2 in order to make it happen, and I have to lose my bishop. Then I played after rook g2, I played d6, and I was like, okay, I will just sacrifice and then just push and GG's. After d6, he played c2. I played rook h7 check, and after rook h7, king b6, and king b6, I can just play d7. And after this, he had to play king c7, and king c7. Then I was like, okay, let's just sacrifice. Takes. And after this, rook takes c2, I played h4. I was like, okay, this pawn can't move. No worries, this will. So after h4, he played rook takes a2, taking the pawn and making his own passer. Now the things get a little bit scary because black can actually draw this if white doesn't play properly. So now after rook takes a2, I played h5. This was not calculated. This was pure intuition by me that I have to push this pawn. And after this, I played king d4. I was like, okay, if I stop this pawn and if he goes rook here, then I can take this, and 2 pawns, I think it will be a win. Then after king d4, he played rook h2 in order to keep an eye on this. After rook h2, I played king c4. King c4 is a good move because it gets towards, but rook h4, I have to play king b3 because if I went there, then this is just scary. So I played king b3, and after king d8, I have to play just a6, king c7. Black thought that he got a draw, but after I played, king a3, a4, Then rook h8, king takes d7, and push. I have shown the win here because, and then he played king e7, which is like the only move. He had lost anyway this game. King e7. If I would have played this, then check and next move queen. So he played king e7, and then I played this move. Now he resigned. What is happening here? Because if he takes this, then I can get check. The king has to move, and I win the rook. And this pawn is just alone, and it is just falling. So that concludes the game.